Hello, my friends, and welcome. I'm Elaine, and I'm doing a midweek checkup on you to make sure that you're keeping those bodies moving and making some healthy choices. So, what I thought I'd do is if you're having a day like I am, where it was extremely, whether physically or mentally exhausting, and you just want to go home and veg out on the sofa and just click that channel changer and watch any program that comes up. Okay, I get you. So, what I thought I'd do is just share some movements, some stretching that you can do when you're feeling that way. So, of course, there are times you feel that way and you push yourself into the gym, and wow, you're just like, actually, every time I push myself into the gym, I'm like, I'm glad I did that. I feel so much better. I have so much energy. I feel great. But then there are those days where, again, as I mentioned, you're just like, I can't do another thing. I just want to veg. That's all I want to do. Or maybe something's come up that is hindering you from going to the gym or getting out for a walk. Or maybe it's the very end of your day and you're ready for bed, and maybe you're feeling a little anxious or a little bit of that anxiety kind of creeping in, and you're thinking about your day tomorrow. These little items that I share with you now will work for that situation as well. So I have my mat laid out here along with my sort of hot yoga mat too, but that's just because I'm on the floor, give me a little bit of comfort. And let's walk through a few simple exercises that you can do while you're vegging out watching television or right before bedtime. And it will make you feel great. It'll relax you. If you don't feel like hitting the gym, it's still some movement to keep that body working. So I hope you stick with me, and let's get to it. Okay, my friends, so we're gonna start in a position where we're lying down. And if you had the day that I've had, you're probably thinking, let's just stay here and let's do nothing. Where's that remote? And let's turn that television on. Believe me, I so get it. I so understand you, but we can still keep moving while we're vegging out. So just pretend I'm lying on the sofa, or definitely if you have a mat, if it's bedtime. Actually, some of these I have done in the bed when I was a little anxious and just kind of did a few key movements, and it will just kind of relax your muscles, relax your body, and help you go to sleep. But again, I'm doing these more for just the movement purpose, to make sure that we keep moving our body. And if you notice, especially after a long day's work, whether you were walking around or sitting at a desk, it's just nice to move parts of the body that may not get too much attention. So from all the walking, all the sitting, do you ever think about your ankles? And so if you notice here, I'm just kind of moving them from side to side. You can actually just kind of come up on, the tips of your feet, go down and rock back and forth. It's just great to be able to incorporate every part of your body that you can to just make sure that those joints keep moving and you don't have a problem with them down the road. And so that's kind of where I start. So I'm certain, can't you do this when you're watching TV? Just kind of go and mindlessly just rock your feet back and forth. You can perhaps hear my ankles cracking a little bit from the movement. So they're really happy when you kind of engage them or just move them about. We don't want any part of our body to suffer. Another thing you can do is just pat your feet. So as you're watching television, or maybe you're ready to drift off to sleep and you can't quite get there, just that little sort of movement, you know, of patting the feet. Again, I do like coming up on the toes. So if you're going along with me and you're just kind of doing this, you may start to feel like almost like you're getting shin splits, you know, like right there just from that movement. So it's great just to incorporate that sort of up and down motion that, you know, won't cause that to happen. And you can do one at a time. You know, you can take it out and just rotate them if you want. You know, go from side to side. So definitely just get the movement in the feet. From there, I kind of started a gentle rock, like from side to side. And this is great. Like my back is already like loving this. This is great. Oh, there's a little pop. I don't know if you heard that. But if you're just a little stiff, you know, it just kind of gets that body movement moving. And I don't have to rock from side to side. You can, you know, but you can keep it just kind of a little soft movement. And of course, if you're like laying on the sofa, you know, maybe you do it one way as you're watching, you know, TV, and maybe you flip yourself and get the other side in, or, you know, during a commercial, who watches those anyways. So it's just great to get that movement into the body. And again, you can come down, you know, lower. That's even great. That's definitely if you do come down from side to side like that, you know, you can see I'm definitely working like my side and like my sort of back area. So that's definitely going to help. So just absent-mindedly, just pay attention to your program. Just rock your body from side to side. Grab that mat, put it on the floor next to the sofa, or you can't quite see my television, but I'm positioned kind of right under my television. So this is great just to get that movement in. It's basically like if you have that bicycle, stationary bike in front of the TV, you can just absent-mindedly ride it as you're watching, you know, just to make sure you're getting that exercise. So this video is along that same vein or line of thinking, as just don't just sit there and let your muscles kind of stagnate. Get some movement in. So another one is going to be to kind of bring that back into neutral spine. So I want to engage my back so that it's actually flush against the floor. I don't want to have my rib cage like kind of sticking up or anything like that. I want a nice like press of the back into the floor. I'm then going to lift my legs into like tabletop, and then it's just going to be a tap down on the floor. And you can just kind of watch TV for a while and just continue to do these. And so again, if you feel that back kind of move into a little bit of an arch, just kind of lift your bum, bring it back down so that again, that back is flush to the floor. You can't fit any fingers or feel that sort of arch in your back. And just with control, tap your feet down, hold your stomach muscles, and just go from side to side. I always say 10 is a great number, but you know, if you feel like your legs are starting to tire or anything like that, if this is like a new movement for you and you haven't done it before, take a small break and then come right back and just keep tapping those legs, you know, one at a time. This is great for the core, and men usually don't have a very tight core. It's one of the last things maybe that they work on. I don't know, you guys have to tell me. But generally, when they see us do certain exercises, especially like things like in Pilates, like boat pose and things like that, they're like, can't do that. So it's basically just strengthening that core and keeping that strengthened, which we all need to do this, even if you do Pilates and yoga. And if you don't do it often or continue to do it like daily, weekly, whatever it might be, you do lose that strength in the core. So definitely keep doing something like this. And if this becomes a little like easy for you, there are other movements that you can do. Again, maybe a little bit hard if you're on the sofa or you know, in the bed ready for nighttime. You know, but definitely with that same one, you can reach your leg out, keep the other one up, bring it in, and just go back and forth with this one. So that's another option that you can do. And that is just gonna be a little bit more challenging for you, but you definitely can do that. And notice I'm kind of hovering over the ground. You know, yes, you can cheat and come down and take that little break if you want, but just kind of slowly going back and forth again. Keep that abdomen engaged. Keep that floor nice on the back or flat on the floor. If you feel yourself starting to arch up or you're kind of getting out of that position, maybe the core is not as tight, so don't do that. Just stay right here, just tapping those legs up and down. And this movement, again, it's better than nothing. And what we just did with the tapping of the toes, this is a great one to actually strengthen that core. So it probably is a great one to consider to add to what you're doing. The next one is going to involve a little yoga ball or something that you might have, even a pillow, even maybe like a bolster pillow that's right on the sofa next to you, or just something maybe that has a little bit of firmness to it even. If it's a like feather pillow or something like that, you know, you might not get as much resistance, but just placing that ball in between your knees and just gently pressing and holding and releasing. And you can definitely also with this one, like keep that abdomen engaged. So again, isn't this a pretty simple one? While you're just kind of vegging out and watching TV, you can just, I could do this like for an entire show. Just at this rate, just constantly, just pressing in. It becomes an absent-minded activity. So, but isn't it great that it can help, you know, with strengthening not only your core, you know, but also just kind of getting the hips engaged as well. So that's again, the idea behind this video. Just basic movements that you can do when you really don't feel like moving and you really just want to veg out, watch television, or a lot of these are great for at the end of the day, right before bedtime. And this one, like I said, I could just continue doing this for the entire video and we could watch a movie together. But I'm gonna move on to another little item that you can do. And the other one is basically the same. And I was thinking I might not even turn to my side, but I will go ahead and do so. And that one is just from the side, clamshell. And you can grab your pillow. So if you're watching TV or something, you have a pillow on the sofa, grab your pillow and just kind of bring that together, just like that. So it's pretty much the same motion as me being on my back, but with me being on my side, this leg is kind of stagnant. And so this one is able to press down more. You can hold it and then release. You can also do this without a ball and just bring that leg up a little bit higher and down. And you can just lay there, and this one is actually great because it's gonna work that inner thigh as well as the outer hip. So you could just definitely lie there as you're watching TV and just do this the entire time that you're watching. And if you do these often, you definitely will start to see that change in your thighs. You can also add a resistance band. And this is going to help a little bit more just by adding that resistance. I'm going to turn to my side again. And so with this, that's just going to help with adding some additional strength for you. Keep that abdomen engaged, so you're going to also feel, you know, that there. But this is going to also help your hips, as well as should you have issues with like your lower spine, or maybe even like sciatica issues. So this is a great one, and you can just lie there, and if you grow tired, pause, and then just pick it right back up again. Another one is, and I don't have my band tied very tightly, but if you're laying on your side, is then to have that band tied maybe a little bit more tight, and just keep the knees then pressed together, and then just start to lift that ankle up away from the other. And of course, we don't want to forget about the other side, so please don't forget to flip over and then do the other leg, because it will be sad if you don't do it and you forget about it. So that's definitely another one that you can do. Back on my back, I'm going to raise this here. So if you do have a band nearby, which bands are great, you can just stick it right underneath the sofa, or it's like a storage ottoman. You can just leave them, you know, the ball tube right in there. But this is great that you can just kind of slip right under the sofa, and you can absent-mindedly, and actually I could tighten this one. And I do use a different band actually for this one. It's a little bit stronger, so it's pretty hard for me to kind of do this one, but this is not as heavy resistance as the other one. But you can just absent-mindedly do like this. And notice I'm doing it a little bit faster, or definitely just slow it down, pause. The pausing is always amazing because it makes like the abdomen engage to make sure that you can hold that fairly steady. So this is another one that you can just lie there and do. Come on guys, isn't this very simple? Isn't this something that you can do? Come on, watching TV. How much easier can I get, right? So this is a great one. And the same thing is going to work the outer thigh as well as help with that inner thigh and strengthen that core, which we all need. You can even just hold it, and that in itself is just going to help keep that core engaged. Another one is like stretching that leg up. And I usually don't use like my resistance bands because they have that elasticity and that give. So I typically am going to use like a belt or my yoga bands that don't have any give in them. And so you're going to take that band, wrap it around the top part of your foot, and pull it so that your toes are basically pointing right back at you. You don't want to, and I know a lot of you may be able to probably even touch your foot to the floor behind you. That's fine. But for this purpose, we're just bringing it right here, keeping it basically at a 90 degree, and just pulling those toes down towards our face. This is going to be easier on the back by having the other leg bent. But if you can, just take that leg out, you can point it, you can still continue to get that leg some movement. But we're just gonna hold this here for like 30 seconds. And this is great. It's excellent at stretching out that the nerve that runs down the back of the leg. And so if you do have issues like sciatica, this is a great stretch that you can do just to kind of relieve that pain. Again, you can hold this for about 30 to 60 seconds and then just release it for a quick minute. Take it right back up and hold it again. And when I said minute, I meant second. So Just hold that and allow that to stretch out. And this is super great. You know, if you don't have a band and you want to grab onto that foot and hold it there, you definitely could do that. The band is great, just kind of helps put that pressure on the top of your foot pad there, just to kind of keep those down toward you. You can take a deep breath and just let all the other muscles relax. You can flex the other foot and point it if you'd like. And I definitely do this one a lot when I am in my bed at night. If I am warmed up, if I do feel a little tight, and this one is great to do. So, and then usually when I go to switch feet, of course you can come down. I just kind of come right up. Let those feet change positions. Get that down towards me, and you can stretch that leg out. Or again, if this feels better on your back, keep it right there. I'm going to take it here. You can also, while in this position, do take that foot out to the side if you want. Go as far as you can. Try to keep your hip down. Tell yourself, you know, if you feel a tightness in your leg, just kind of breathe and allow that leg to just relax. And you can see how low you can get it to the floor. Kind of holding it so I'm not going to touch the floor, but again, have those toes point down. Give yourself a great stretch. You deserve it after a hard day's work and maybe all the meetings you had or a lot of standing that you did. This is great. Be great to your body. Be gentle with yourself. Just take that down and again. Pull that. And I know I did not do my other side, but these are such simple stretches. I'm hoping that you will pause the video, or when you're watching TV or whatever you may be doing, don't forget about your other side. Feels so good. So I'm just gonna let that leg come down. You can always just take a moment for yourself, bring those legs in. You can pull them up to the chest and rock from side to side if you need to. And then from there, one foot comes down to the floor, the other foot, the ankle crosses over that leg, and you can just kind of push back the knee of the leg that is crossed over. You can add a gentle rock with this one. So usually a lot of our hips, a lot of us have very tight hips, and so this is going to feel great. I usually will thread my leg through and hold my knee, or I will hold my knee with one hand, the one that's on the same side as the knee that I'm lifting, and then with the other side I will push out, and that feels great. And then with that you can also rock, and oh my gosh, tell me that doesn't feel good. Okay, so that's fantastic. If you hit a certain spot in your rock that feels good, you can hold it there. Just kind of add a little bit more pressure to it. Sometimes I even just grab my foot here and press out. So just whatever feels great to you. And then of course, don't forget the other side. We're going to pull that in. You can add that rock, which just I think feels great. If you notice, I kind of shifted. If you notice, I shifted where my elbow was. It gives you a different stretch depending on where you place your elbow. How you push into that knee. Oh, that feels so good. My hips are tight. don't forget to take the deep breaths. Just blow out all the stress that you had from the day. So good. And I'm going to bring the legs back down. Allow them to fall out to the side. So how was your day today? I'm hoping you had a great day here. The weather was beautiful, but of course, I didn't get outside today, so I didn't get to enjoy it. Oh, that was great. So those are a few key items that you can do while watching television in a reclined position. Of course, there are other things that we could be doing with our arms, so feel free to wear like weights around your wrist, and as you're moving, and I have to be careful with my shoulder, but you can do a number of different movements with your arm, or just pay attention to your lower half, you know, for part of your show, and then maybe let's do the upper half, and maybe you'll come back and think of some different movements that you can do while watching television or before you go to bed, just to kind of stretch out. But how simple is that? And don't just stop there. Those are just a few key moves that you can do as you're watching television. But if you finish, start over again. So don't stop. If you're gonna sit there and lay there and watch television for 2, 3, I don't know, hours, get that movement in. So make sure that you're keeping that body moving. Of course, it's not exactly burning a ton of calories as if you were to go for a walk or a run. I hate running, but if you were to go do something like that, or maybe some cardio, you know, the heart rate is not exactly getting up, but you are doing simple movements that are, one, keeping the hips in your body moving, as well as just keeping them flexible. So the more movement we can do, you know, and just any sort of movement we can do, definitely want to do it. So again, find your own movement as you're watching TV or as you're laying there, and just add it into your day. I hope this short video was super easy for you to do along with me. Please do continue that movement. You don't have to do it along with the video, but just kind of keep that body moving if you're in that sort of stationary position. So I hope you do join me again soon. Please like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you again. Bye for now.